90% of people have no problem visualizing what they want, but 50% of people abandon their New Year's resolutions at January 17th. Now that doesn't sound like a very good success rate, but 99% of the time it is because they don't understand this one law. I'm William James, and my goal is to give you the tools and the insight necessary for you to get out of what I call the town, which is the place of safety, the place that somebody else has already developed, where little potential still exists, and get out into the wilderness, a place of untapped potential that is hidden, maybe, but not out of reach. Most of my stuff goes on over at Twitter, but here is where I kind of expand the best tweets of the week and are able to go a little bit longer. So one of the threads this week I did was on my favorite parts of this book here, which is John Maxwell's book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And you may think, well, man, I'm not really into leadership, but leadership is simply influence. And every single one of us influence people every day. In fact, every single one of us attempt to influence at least 4 people every single day of our life. So it is very important for you to understand what it means to be a leader, even if you don't have the position. You will become the leader if you learn how to influence, which is one of his laws. But probably more important law, and one of my favorites, and one thing that I've had to experience in my life, is the law of process, which is what we want to talk about today. So here on my phone, going through the tweet that I made, I said 90% of people have no problem envisioning success, but they do have a problem sticking with it, as is pointed out by the fact that most people abandon their New Year's resolutions on the 3rd week of January, which is pretty, terrible. But 99% of the time, I believe it's a lack of understanding of the law of process. The fact that process has to happen. It's not like a sidebar. It's not like a good idea. It is absolutely necessary. So he wrote, champions are not made in the ring. They're merely recognized there. Because a champion does not just climb in the ring with no training, no sacrifice, nothing behind him. He gets in there because he has spent years in training in the dark for a few minutes in the spotlight. And if you want to beat the statistics, if you want to beat the stats, you have to know what the secret of the process is. And in his book, he also mentions that a champion develops daily, but not in a day. Every single person who's ever done anything, no matter how successful you may think that they all started at 0, and all of them had to go through the process. No one gets an exception. There is no such thing as overnight success, only private preparation finally finding its public victory. The process is the private preparation. Growth is not always visible, and that's why, say, for the gym, people don't stick with it, because they get in there 3 or 4 weeks in and they don't see results. Their biceps are not bulging, they're not running for miles without quitting, and their weight hasn't changed or fluctuated at all, and they just hurt, and it's painful, and the gym's expensive. They don't like the way they look in their gym clothes. They don't like the way health food tastes. Whatever it might be, they just quit, because growth is not always visible. Your success or failure pivots on your response to the process. A champion trains for months in the dark for minutes in the spotlight. Joe Frazier, who was a Golden Gloves fighter, he won the only gold medal in 1964 the U.S. had. Now, Joe Frazier gave Ali his first professional defeat. When they met each other, neither of them had lost. Frazier didn't take the title from him because of some things going on with the title back then, but he did become the first person to ever beat Ali in the ring professionally. He became heavyweight champion later, and his final record was 32-4-1. But Frazier began his career as a sharecropper's son on a farm, just digging the dirt like everybody else was doing. But he started after his uncle said something to him about him being a good fighter. He went and made his own heavy bag out of burlap and corn cobs and moss and whatever else he could find, and strung it up in a tree. And he would hit, he said, that heavy bag every day for a solid hour for 6 to 7 years. In the dust of the sharecropper's farm, Frazier punched a dusty, dirty old burlap bag, wrapping his hands in his father's ties or his mom's or sister's hosiery, more or less. And he understood what the law of process was, even if he had never heard about it. He simply got out there, and day after day after day, he fought against himself, against the heavy bag, against his own weakness, his own tiredness. But the law of process works, and it is unstoppable if you decide to apply constant pressure to progress. And Smokin' Joe was known for his one fighting characteristic, probably more than anything else, and that was that he would apply constant pressure to his opponents. He didn't always hit them the hardest, but he was always pushing them. He was trying to drive the fight. And if you continue to apply, as Frazier did here, constant effort towards your goals, if you continue the process, it becomes unreasonable that you would not succeed. Frazier is quoted as saying, if you cheat in the dark of the morning, you're going to get found out under the lights. There will always be a gap between vision and victory. The larger the vision is, in his case, heavyweight champion of the world, the larger the gap's gonna be. So for years, decades of his life were spent applying the law of process to his own training. And over time, he gained the experience, he gained the fights, he gained the victories that led him to the world stage, and his ultimate victory being heavyweight champion of the world. The gap always holds obstacles of adversity, discouragement, and defeat. But no champion has ever enjoyed victory without the process of overcoming those obstacles. That is what a champion is. He is somebody who, when he meets obstacles, crushes them. Maybe not always immediately, but he always applies constant pressure until that obstacle is overcome. You might have started off with good intentions before. You might have had great vision of what you wanted, but then you failed to follow through on that vision. Is that you? Because that's what 90%, 99% of people are. To become what 99% are not, you must commit to do what 99% will not, and allow the process, the law of process, to have its painfully slow way on your progress. But the key is to start today, because there's no way around the process. You simply have to put in the reps. If you go to the gym, you're going to put in rep after rep after rep, and there's no way around that. You cannot shortcut growth, because process is part of that. And you'll never get anywhere if you don't put in the time, the reps, the effort, day after day, constantly. The sooner you act, the sooner you'll win, because the sooner you begin the process, the sooner the process can end. A champion is one who gives in entirely to the process. And that's the tweet. That's the video, and I hope that that was something that can help you overcome your next obstacle and make you a better person, farther along, better leader, whatever it is you're attempting to be. Because every one of us have potential that we are not fulfilling yet. But we can if we put into action the law of process as soon as possible, because the reps have to be done. So begin today. That's it, guys. As I said before, most of my stuff's over on Twitter, so if you want to follow me over there, that would probably be the best place to start. But here you're going to find my long form, some short form. I'm trying to get into that a little bit more. But you can follow me over there at William___James. And that's pretty much what my name is everywhere. William James, and different variations of that. But if you go there, you'll find me pretty much anywhere. Love you guys. We'll see you later.